de nuestro país. Vengan, escuchen todas las historias, historias de amor, love, aventuras, adventures, and all the bad things and good things that happen to the people of our place. My name is Michael Rael, and this is one of my favorite programs that we do. Claire and Wyman are the brains of the outfit. I'm the brawn. Yeah, Claire. Yeah. Somebody has to have the brains, and that's not us. But today I'm looking forward to. We have this young lady. We have another one that's on her way, hopefully. She had a show to do somewhere today. But Miss Erika Vigil-Flores. And she said you have to say all three names. You can't, we just can't go EVF.
Yeah, because it helps me remember that.
Well, that's why I realized. Anyway, she wrote a book called Healing with Dirt. And so we're going to learn about that book and what and where. And I think your grandfather was a curandero, maybe?
My grandfather was not. My family all practiced traditional medicine.
Oh, okay.
But they didn't quite have the title or call themselves anything. Just knew how to get the job done.
Yeah. Aha. There she is. Come on in. Look at that. And both of them are wearing hats today.
I know.
And the other young lady came in right now is Jada Grant. And come on in, young lady.
Hello.
Nice here for looks.
The goods.
The goods. Wow. Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
So nice
Nice to meet you.
Is that
And this other young lady just walked in is Jada Grant.
Lou?
Hi.
I
Jada Grant Lou.
Jada, yeah, okay.
And she can pick on me because she's half Filipina and I was married to a half Filipina woman. And she's half Filipina, half Italian. Is that what you said?
Scottish.
Scottish. That's a, well, no wonder she's all messed up.
I'm related to Mary Queen of Scots, so be careful. We don't mess around.
So anyway, so these two young ladies work with healing the traditional way. So we'll start off with Erika, since you were here, and talking about your book, however you want to go through it. And then we'll ask questions and go from there.
Alrighty.
All right?
Sounds good. This is my book, Healing with Dirt. And I published this book this past January. I self-published the entire book on traditional medicine in northern New Mexico. As I said, I'm a registered nurse. I practice home health and hospice in rural New Mexico. I'm sent all over the place across rural New Mexico. And I'm also a practitioner of traditional medicine. I graduated from the University of New Mexico with my Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. And I return every year. I'm invited by Dr. Chir Torres and Dr. Guevara, so that way I can teach on Curanderismo, traditional medicine. And I've been very proud this year to be able to share on traditional medicine of northern New Mexico, because it's a little bit different. This entire book is on traditional medicine of northern New Mexico and our remedios, but mostly it's my own spiritual journey, my own path, and my own healing journey, and how I've learned to heal with things like the earth, the remedios themselves, which is its own chapter, our Catholic faith of the area, also our indigenous belief system of the area, healing generational trauma, which is really prevalent in our communities, and healing yourself and being able to know and understand yourself. So the entire book is a journey of all the things that I've learned how to heal with my ancestral medicine. So yeah, I I self-published, so I learned a whole lot of skills in the process. But it's here today, and I'm glad to be able to finally hold it in my hands and to share it with you all.
Very good.
Thank
So, Jada, why don't you
I
take
have a
off?
question for
yeah.
you. What is your best way with the healing with the dirt? Like, how do you use it to?
Yeah, so I use it for different remedios, different things. The one that really stands out to me is regardless of what you're experiencing, to sprinkle some of the dirt from the santuario, the miracle dirt. I sprinkle it in water.
Chimayó.
Yes,
Okay.
Chimayó, yes. From the santuario de Chimayó, I sprinkle it in a glass of water first thing in the morning. You drink it on an empty stomach, and that was an old remedio in the area of for how to cure several different things and how to heal yourself or even cleanse your energy. So that's my favorite. But yeah, I have
Thank you.
the whole book's not just about dirt; it's on different things. But the dirt from Chimayó is what inspired the title. So yeah,
Thank you.
yeah,
Beautiful.
thank you.
So my name is Jada Grant Liu. I'm a proud Filipina and Scotsman. I can river dance and I know karate.
Love it.
No, just kidding. No.
And wait a minute, do you do karaoke too?
Of course. But basically, I'm a caregiver. I'm a postpartum doula in the community. I've helped a lot of mothers and babies. I myself have had a stillborn 6 years ago, and I am now a death doula in the community. And when babies die, they call me, and I come and I bring the roses, and I bring a hot sesame oil, and I do this ancient Abhyanga massage, and it's a chance for them to sit with their little baby spirit. And every one of them says that it felt like they were a baby, and that they felt their baby sitting right here in their heart. I'm not kidding you, everyone. And that they felt like they were anointed with this hot oil. So basically, how I learned is sort of the old traditional way. I sit with elders and I listen to them, and then I a lot of the time live with them, and I caregive for them. And so that's how I've been passed down this traditional medicine with such elders from this area as Tonita Gonzalez. She's a traditional medicinal healer, and she taught me most of my precious medicines. And then her elder, Rita Navarro, who is also my teacher, she also is from this area, and I have learned years, and that's where I learned the fire cupping, which is the ancient Mexican medicine, not the Chinese medicine way. So I basically move the cups, and I reset your entire microfascia, and your body heals itself. And so I also, how I first came to know Mexico and was invited in, because you know those elders, they're picky, and they won't let anybody up in their town. So a man named Harvey Beartrax, he practiced the bear medicine, and he taught me it after he healed me with the bear medicine. Then we went around to all of his elders. This was 20 years ago, so now a lot of them are dead. And we went and we healed them together with the male and the female energy. So I learned a lot, and a lot of families took me in. So that's how I was able to come to this land. He's a peyote roadman, but through him, I got to sit with elders such as Linda Pedro. If you guys know her from Chimayó, she got all disabled rights here in New Mexico, so that they got funding, they got money monthly. And then Alfred Oldman, and just those old guys. And so I tried to hold them and respect them and teach only what they taught me. I don't throw in some extra dance moves. And, I mean, not on purpose. And then also, I'm a gardener, and I just sit with plants. And that's how I learned is I sit with them, I draw them, I sew them into my book. And it's really just, I feel like I'm studying traditional medicine, and it's really a way of life. It's a walk of life, respecting the earth, respecting yourself, and then also your elders, and the unborn and the born, the babies. And so I used to work on men, and I don't anymore. I only work on mothers and babies. And yeah, it feels really good in the community because they take me in as part of their family. Yeah. And then I just brought some medicines here, and it's all herbs I collect and grow. And so my garden turned into a little medicinal garden. Yeah. So thank you. Yeah.
Continue. Any questions so far? No? Okay. Why don't you now you continue something.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing about your stillbirth, because I've recently experienced my second miscarriage. So I started in labor and delivery, and as a nurse, and because I knew I wanted to help transition life. While I was working in labor and delivery, I was drawn to all of the stillbirth mamas and families, and nobody, it was so challenging emotionally. Nobody wanted to pick them up. I always wanted to pick them up as patients. And at that point is when I realized I think I had a calling for hospice to help transition to the other side. And in hospice, that's when I experienced my two losses. So I think it's awesome that we both kind of were initiated through both death and birth in our own way, and also through community, because I was explaining last week at the University of New Mexico that I feel like I was initiated. I was formally initiated into Curanderismo by a maestra a while back, and then I removed the title from my practice, and I just refer to it as traditional medicine of northern New Mexico. And I feel that I was initiated separately into traditional medicine of northern New Mexico, the way my ancestors were, through necessity, through being called out to a house in the middle of nowhere with no electricity, no running water in the middle of the night, because they had no one to call. And you show up and you're like, take me to them, and you go and you see the patient and the client, and sometimes you have nothing. As a nurse, as a hospice nurse, I'd show up with nothing because there's no service to get doctor's orders. You can't do anything without doctor's orders. So you show up with your hands, your energy, your words, the plans, whatever they have in the cabinet, and you have to figure it out to help these patients, to support them. So in a similar way, I feel like I was also initiated into the practice through elders, through learning from my patients and learning out of necessity, out of lack of resources. So yeah, I think that's wonderful. When Michael shared your website with me, I said I think it's awesome because she seems to have so many similarities with my path. So I think that's wonderful.
And also going to she's in the hospitals, and a lot of people don't get this kind of medicine or care because they don't believe it. A lot of the times the nurses and doctors, they have to believe what they read in a book, but to have her in there to bring in the spirit is so important in a time of death. And what I've noticed too in the hospitals, because I have to go to NICU too, is when your baby dies, they don't, when your baby's alive, you get all this warm, loving stuff. When your baby dies, they put you in a cold room. And cold feels cold. So that's something that I wish they could change. Like, yeah, have the baby cold, but also have warmness, have lights, have flowers, things like that. And so I feel like I'm sort of an underground doula midwife, and I'm allowed to practice this due to the act. It was passed in 1981. In New Mexico, we are allowed to practice traditional medicine without being put behind bars. If I was cupping the heck out of people like I cut people here in California, they would throw me in jail. But because I'm studying for my elders, they cannot take that right away. And it's the people from here that had to fight for the act. So I keep a copy with me always. And when I go to places like the hospital, I just love it because I bring all sorts of medicine, and the nurses walk in and they're like, "What are you guys doing in here?" And they're like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they love
Like,
it
can I?
because like you've never seen a mother just lose their baby and finally fall asleep.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know.
Definitely. Yeah.
So they love me in there too.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Yeah, I think it's the way I practice it in the home to integrate both, which is a challenge. Integrating like Western medicine, traditional medicine. I walk in, and I walk in as an educator and to empower because in the home health and hospice, that's what's so special. The families and the patients have autonomy. It's their choice, what they do with themselves, what they do for their loved ones. So I can educate. Like maybe you can do this herb to help ease this, but don't give them this because they're taking this medication. And integrating the two. And I educate and I facilitate, I support, and I allow them to do that on their own. Which when I'm acting as a nurse, when I'm acting as a traditional healer, I make it very clear that the separation of my two roles, then I can go in under that act, under that law, and do my practice fully hands-on. As a nurse, I walk in more as an educator, facilitator.
Yeah, and that's where I'm saying it's really important because these people don't get this ever.
Yeah.
In that setting.
Yes.
It's literally impossible.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it is. Definitely. It is.
It's a challenge.
It is. And I'm honored to be able to hold that space. And I think it's wonderful. We need more people in the community doing that.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've been speaking a lot about lately in different classes and groups is the importance of integrating the two and how we need to integrate both Western and traditional medicine because especially here in northern New Mexico where I have so many patients that they're like, I don't take Tylenol. There's no Pepto in the house. There's no ibuprofen. They've never touched pills ever, and they are solely reliant on traditional medicine. But then certain times come where they need to go get dialysis or they need a surgery. Or chemo, things like that. And that's when Western medicine is needed, but it doesn't fully support the patient. So traditional medicine is necessary for supporting symptom management, just easing them through everything that they experience. So
yeah. And I feel like the doctors have lost the humanity, and that's what you're talking about.
Yes, yeah.
The grandma, the auntie, the loved one, even allowed to be in the hospital.
Exactly. Yeah, and I think, especially what you said about your plants and sitting with the medicine, I actually shared a post about this morning, the importance of sitting with medicine, of sitting with not just the medicine, but the person, the client, the patient. And it's a lost art. It really is. Even in traditional medicine, I think in a lot of spaces, it's very much like, show me the recipe for the remedio. I need the counterindications, the side effects. I need every bit of information. And it's not so much sitting with it, listening to intuition or to the patient or to the client. It's just protocol. And that's what Western medicine has become. Western medicine was born off of the plants that our ancestors, the Mayans, the Aztec, the Chinese medicine ancestors sat with these plants and they turned them into medicine that we use today. But because we've lost that ability to sit with the medicine, to sit with patients and clients, that's why Western medicine is really struggling today, I feel.
Thinking about what you guys are saying here, I was married. My third wife was a spiritual healer, and talking about helping people forever. But she said once in a while, whether you like it or not, you have to go see a psychiatrist or take some type of medicine to help the brain. And it's so fascinating to me that when I see people around here and I say, go see a curandero, go see somebody traditional. Don't go to the clinic. Don't go because my experience with Western medicine is they mask. They don't cure. I mean, they do amazing things, replacing the knees, replacing the hips. I've been trying to get a brain replacement, but I haven't found one.
found the right fit.
Uh,
There's no head big enough.
I guess. When you have an ego like mine, you know.
You gotta fly.
You picked up on that in 30 minutes. You figured it out.
Oh yeah, I know a bunch of them. I call them fat heads.
That's it, right?
Big old fat heads.
Yeah. So I've been having problems with my hips, my knees, and all that. So I went to go into a good chiropractor. But you gave me some ice fire, whatever it's called.
Fire nice.
And they had done radiation on my leg to get rid of the pain. This stuff got rid of it
Faster.
in 3 days. It's so much better than radiation. Let me tell you.
Sure.
So the thing is, what I was so excited about today is that to learn more about, like, in your book here, what is your favorite part of the book? Your favorite chapter, however you want to put it.
My personal favorite chapter is, I have to say, let's see what chapter is it. I know which one in my head. It's about healing generational trauma. I believe it's chapter 2. Yes, chapter 2, mental latte for ancestral wounds.
Okay, so explain a little bit generational trauma.
So, in that chapter, I talk about everything that our people of the community of northern New Mexico have had to endure from before the Spanish, just the attacks on each other, the different villages battling each other, the violence that was there for survival. And then when the Spanish came, the conquest, the assimilation, the oppression that came, and the pushing out our traditional medicines, our traditions, our language. And then after that, we had so many more things that came in that oppressed us as a people. Different types of assimilation, like in the 60s, and how, there was a lot of hatred towards brown people, towards Chicanos as well in the 60s. And then the wars that they had to leave for, and all that our people have endured, that has led to the struggles we face today, the mental health struggles, the addiction struggles, the violence struggles. And I explain how we also take a part in our own suffering, number one, but number two, it also comes from these things that are passed down literally in our cells and in our DNA from epigenetics. And I talk about how I've had to heal that in myself, for my future children, for my community, for the future lineages, and how I'm trying to guide others and empowering others in the community to do the same for themselves, for their future children. So that's my favorite. It's very controversial. Someone recently told me not to call myself controversial. They told me to call myself spicy.
That works.
It's very spicy, it's very real, it's very raw and honest, and I think that's why it's my favorite chapter of the book.
Cool.
I'm
Yeah.
so glad you brought that up because that was my question.
Yeah.
And so I'm happy to hear that that's what resonates so much with you, because actually I feel like that's what attracts me most to the story sharing, is because I feel like it's another form of potential healing.
Yes.
That it's a way that through connecting, we can have micro healing in a way. But so I'm curious to know what kind of reception that has received, and like specifically, what you would, if you were to do a whole hour talking about, that, if you could, consolidate your process for helping people heal. Can you share a little bit more? We kind of know a definition now of what generational trauma is, which I really appreciate, because I find that difficult to summarize sometimes, especially for me as like a white Norteña, but I what now from here, what
I like that. A white
There you
Norteña.
go. I like that.
a buena Norteña.
It's just I've never heard that one.
But you embody it.
Yeah.
So I will give you that.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
her dad and I go back before her. You know?
Oh.
So sweet.
But I love that though.
Yes, I love it. Yeah, definitely. Well, in here, in that chapter, I actually explained the way you said, like, that imagine yourself being back in English class and you're told to read a book and write a report on a story that's opposing that story. It's complete opposite of that story. And let's say you don't read the book. Then you might fail the assignment because you don't know if you're rewriting the same story, the same themes, or if you're writing a new one. And that's kind of about the importance of storytelling and speaking truth to our pain and our generational traumas. You asked how it's been received, and it's always hard to hear by norteños and local people, my community. It's hard to hear, especially when it's loved ones, family. But I've been so happy to see that by putting it in a book, when people are reading it from a book, they're so much more receptive to hearing that. Because it's a lot of that, oh, that doesn't go, look the other way. This isn't going on. No, we don't talk about that. We don't bring that up. And but when you read it in a book, and I have these older community members or family members that are reading it, they're receptive to it. And I think I actually put a formula in here. I broke it down. I call it the formula, and I broke it down to a simplified formula. Which, when you're practicing, it's really not all that simple. It's a lot harder to put it in place than a formula. But it's a clear-cut reference for people on how to heal generational trauma. And I explain that it's important to first identify the root of your trauma. Identify the root of your pain. If you carry back pain, your mom carried back pain, and they carried back pain, what's that from? Is that from caring too much? Is that from carrying responsibilities of others? Understand the root. Where were you given that in your life? What happened in your childhood that you felt you had to carry that weight, that you also picked up the same pain as your parents and grandparents? And then after you identify the root, name it. Say it out loud. And that's the hard part. That's what my community, my family, that's what we struggle with the most, is calling out an injustice, saying it out loud, saying, you know what, grandma or grandpa was like this, and this hurt us, and this hurt our children, and we're still doing it, and they were hurt the same way. Calling it out is so important. Yes, it brings conflict, but that conflict is necessary for healing. And then after you identify it, you name it, you speak it, you breathe life to it, then that's when you work on healing yourself, on telling yourself a different story. Things like, I don't have to carry the weight of the world. I can put some things down. I can rest. I can sleep in late for once. I can take a nap. These things that we're told that we can't do, speaking a different story, telling yourself otherwise, breathing into it. And then lastly, symptom management through remedios. And that's where the remedios come in, to treat the body and the way it's shown up in the body. Things like that wonderful salve that she passed around that I can just smell, just like penetrating all of your cells. Right? It's wonderful. It's powerful. You could smell the power on it, and it's penetrating your cells right now as we speak. It's entering our aromas, our senses, to heal us in that moment physically. But no healing is going to ever occur physically unless we first heal it spiritually, and that's kind of what I broke down in that formula. So thank you for that question. It's a wonderful question. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Back when I first started being a judge, we could hear domestic violence in our courts, and I was lucky that I was married to a woman that happened to be a PhD in psychology. And when I knew I was going to have heavy-duty stuff come into my court, I would have her go sit in my office and listen. And she helped me so much on how to communicate, how to listen, and how to communicate. And one of the things that you're talking about, generational, it's like domestic violence, the only way you stop it, basically, you never stop the people that are doing it, but you break it down to the next generation that it doesn't follow. And that's basically what you're saying in that sense. And I had to do it in a different way within a court, but it's so important to find out, where's the pain from? Reminds me of a story that I read about. Somebody asked Yeshua, who we all call Jesus, uh, why do newborns have bad karma? And they haven't done anything. And he answered was, well, maybe that child didn't, but someone in his ancestry did. So karma carries. So the pain that you're talking about that we have to find, to me, it comes down to saying, all right, like with what I'm going through and the lady and all that, I realize this, I'm going through some bad stuff right now, okay, but it's mine. I own it, and I will beat it. I need help once in a while, and I figured you guys today could probably just, knock it.
I'll go get my taser.
He
asked for it.
But the thing comes down to it, but it's you have to break down the pain, and it's a physical pain or a mental pain. It's still a pain. So, and what I appreciate, like what your fire eyes did for my leg, was like, I can lift my leg without going. So the taser would have worked probably, but and it's the things like that. Like I told you, Jada, after about the third time that we talked, I said, I'm beginning to trust you more, and I realized that my trust with you came on a second phone call. And just a little bit of things that you said, I've said it. It says, okay, this is going to be an exciting day for me, because I don't know, I'm shocked that we don't have more, but I think that if people would take time to listen more to what you guys do, we could get rid of Western medicine. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Take over. Take over. There you go.
You have a few
another question and maybe some thoughts involved in that. And you were speaking about healing within your present or each of our presence time. Somehow I've always connected that if more healing I do, it works 360, past, future, present, all the way around. And I feel like spiritually I'm healing my ancestors in the past. So, and even I didn't have a great relationship with my father while he was alive. But about 4 or 5 years after he died, we connected. And we're doing a lot of healing now. So, maybe if there's something you can say about that, I don't know whether, but that, to me, healing is just 360 beyond dimensions.
Expansive.
So I
Definitely.
anything more you could say about or your thoughts or reflection? I don't speak about that to many people.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing. Thank you. And I think that happens a lot because spirits and souls, I think what happens is after we pass, they gain more of what understanding, more of an all-knowing presence. And I'm sure in the work you do, you've experienced that. They gain an all-knowing understanding and presence. And sometimes certain reconciliations and soul contracts don't happen until the soul passes, until it leaves the ego, until it leaves the flesh, until it leaves the earthly body. Look at, like he brought up Jesus. He couldn't complete his mission until he left the flesh, the body. And that happens, I see it a lot in hospice with souls, that sometimes they don't get that understanding and greater view till after they leave. And sometimes that's necessary. Sometimes the death happens right at a certain part in people's lives and in their life, that the journey and the healing and the reconciliation and the ascension can happen after. And I've experienced that with loved ones as well.
It's beautiful.
And when that happens, you heal your descendants in the process, yourself, and your ancestors.
And your future generations.
Yes.
Well, I was talking about what you said. My Cindy, my third wife, her mom was Alzheimer's for the last 17 years of her life. Never knew her daughter or anybody else. But when she passed, Cindy was in Peru when 9/11 happened. So they couldn't come back in. So her mother came to her in a dream and says, life is short and love is everything. And so, well, why are you telling me this? You know. And then she made the mistake of coming to Questa. She lived up here. And she said, I don't remember doing this. She said that I went and grabbed her hands and said, Chica, life is short and love is everything. Completely blew her away. Because that's what her mom says. And then I saw her at a dance and I asked her out. She said, I'll let you know. She comes back and says, no, your reputation is too bad. Yeah, so I said,
She's
okay,
honest.
you know. And her mom came back to her and said, I put him in front of you. So we ended up 20 years together. But now that she's doing the Hindu, when somebody passes away, I ask her to go. And she'll help that, you know, that soul after 9 days, according to the Hindu. After 9 days, they cross over. And so she'll go back after 9 days to help him cross over. Some other stories, when my nephew committed suicide. Sorry. She came. He was mad at the world. I bet my family's mad at me. So she brought Yeshua with her. And they calmed him down and said, we know why you committed suicide, to save your family from the people that were after him for the drugs. So that's important. When they had another gentleman die here in Cuesta, I sent her, she went. After 9 days, when he was a crossover, he took with him over 100 Vietnamese souls. That's why he did what he did. What he did in Vietnam, nobody knew, because his wife, he would never allow his wife to go into the counseling. So it's all there. It really is all there. And I did the ayahuasca. I don't know if you guys know what the ayahuasca is. It's you drink the ayahuasca and then you go up here and there and everywhere. I went back in my lifetimes, from what I could tell, it was either one or two things. Either a warrior or a priest. That was it. And in I went back and with the ayahuasca was help to battle myself, who was a priest who lost faith in God, but was trying to make people believe in God by torturing them. And that's what I was doing. So I had to go beat the heck out of myself to do that. So it's interesting. You know, karma is something that we don't know. We know it's there. We really don't know how it handles, but we know it's always there. Now, you guys come here now and tell us we need to work from back here to get here. And that's basically what you're talking about, you know, from the past to the future. Yeah.
Real life.
Yeah, so I'm sorry I take over here, but please continue.
I would like to respond to you as well, because I've been studying to be a curandera. I've been practicing. And I was such a good student, you know. I did everything right. But once my baby, Penelope, once she passed on, I had 1 foot in the spirit realm and 1 foot, well, mostly both foot in the spirit, but 1 foot on earth. And she really became my ally. And I all of a sudden understood what I was studying. Oh, I see it. I feel it. I smell it. Whereas before I was going through the motions, but now that I got to experience death, my baby died inside of me, and death is kind. Death is gentle, profound. It's a huge healing, and that's what you're talking about. When someone dies and when someone's born, there's this giant light portal that comes through the heart to the mom, and it comes back around. You can literally, after birth, heal all of your generations. Every person that comes and touches you and that baby can get a huge healing. And same with death. And that's what I felt when you were telling your story, is that it actually took your dad to die to realize why he's dead. Does that make sense?
Oh no, absolutely, and I
Yeah.
understand that. But yeah, I don't hear people speak
Talk
about
like
it a
this.
lot.
Mhm.
And then so my grandma actually passed 3 months before my baby passed. And when I close my eyes, I see my grandma smiling, swinging the baby, and I gave my grandma a baby. And my grandma had 2 stillborns. She had a baby, her first baby, Junior, died at 1. So this is generational trauma. My sister had a stillborn the exact same week, age I did.
Wow.
And we're 2 years, 2 days apart, Gemini. And guess what? My baby is 2 days after that. So June 7th's my birthday. June 9th is my sister who had a stillborn. And then June 11th is my baby's birthday. And she died on June 10th. So
Wow.
we celebrate those 2 days are big. And basically, after I had this experience, I understood that there's spirits all around us. And that I can understand people when they talk about death and about their communication with their loved one. I get it now. And I love my elders. They always make a spirit plate before they eat. They feed their baby.
Wow.
They put water and I just love that because you want to care for them so bad. And then one last thing, when my baby died, the lesson that she basically handed down to me is you cannot have life without death.
That's true.
You cannot. And then, I had a baby rabbit die and I was crying around, and Penelope, my daughter's like, Mom, why are you crying? Didn't I tell you? Oh, you didn't get it? You cannot have life without death. And then I also feel there's a sacrifice happening as well. And sometimes, like, somebody's animal died and they were so upset, and I was like, what did that spirit animal, what did they sacrifice? Are you alive today because of that? So I thank them for their life. Yeah.
Wow.
And so I'm so happy for your dad and for you that you get to experience that in this lifetime, so you could pass this on to your children.
If I can just share a wee little story.
Yeah.
I went to somebody who's a medium, and she says, "Oh, your father's here." And I'm like, "Yeah, I have a specific question for him," but he never really answered it. But anyway, she goes, "Oh," she goes, "He's saying he could apologize to you, but he's not going to." I said, "Oh yeah, that's him."
That's it.
I was like not emotionally upset about it. I mean, like, he didn't apologize to anybody. He was right even when he was wrong. That's what he said. But, so then I was like, yeah, that's him. I'm like, Dad, yeah, cool. I didn't need her necessarily to communicate. But anyway, so that was just kind of funny. And then, but it was a few years after that, that sitting quietly, and that's so important in this busy world, is to sit quietly. And then my little secret garden in the woods there, he came in, and we started a new relationship, and it was, and he's healed a lot, and it's really beautiful.
Now, she has a story I want her to tell why she came to New Mexico, because I would like their interpretation or take on it.
Okay.
That it's in the spiritual realm that this young lady came to New Mexico not just to come here. She had a dream, a vision. So please, I know it, but I'd rather you tell it.
Well, so I was telling Miguel, right, that I just really started talking about this Senyor's experience that happened about 7 years ago. So, and I'm on video camera. I don't even do Facebook, but it's okay. This is part of the whole situation here now. It was 4 o'clock in the morning. I had this vision dream, and this woman is about 15 feet from me, and she's dressed in blue and white, and she's just standing there. She doesn't say anything, but she has a headdress on that I've never seen in my life, and it's a tablita that they wear on House Pueblo. I found that later. And I was thinking, I've never seen anything like that. I tried to research it, couldn't find anything. And then 2 or 3 years later, I ended up I was being called to New Mexico. Like all these things kept coming in, and finally I'm okay. And then I saw this brochure that somebody brought into work, and it had an organized trip on the week I had picked for vacation 8 months prior, you know, and I took it. We went Albuquerque, Santa Fe, and Taos. But when we were in Albuquerque at the Cultural Museum, well, we were walking around the outside, and there was a lot of statues there, artwork, and there was this statue by Stella Loretto, and it was a woman in blue and white with a tablito on it. And I was like, okay. I was called to New Mexico, and now I see this. And then the journey has been, I've been here 3 consecutive years now to find that out. But I skipped a part. So the first night, she just stood there. 2 days later, she came back again, and she spoke to me. And I don't want to share this part of it, but she asked if she could touch my heart area. And she said some things, and I'll just leave that quiet for now. And then she said a lot of different things. And when I came out of it, and that was at 4 o'clock in the morning too, I wrote it down in the journal. And it was wonderful and overwhelming, and I didn't feel worthy, and I was, not confused, like whatever, because I'm a spiritual person, but what do I do with this? Who do I talk to? Where do I get this? And that was before I came here. So I put the journal away, and then, of course, things get boxed up, and I don't even know where the journal is now. Hopefully I can find it and reread it. But the journey has been to return. Last year I went to the Taos Pueblo, because my understanding is they wore that tablita, but we ended up going to a different corn dance, and they didn't wear that, so came back this year for the corn dance to see the Taos Pueblo, and it was raining off and on that day, so they didn't wear their headdresses. And I thought, because I was thinking maybe I'll be done with this year, and then it's like, no, I have to come back again. And then, but Mother Mary also came in with that first vision, and I'm not Catholic, and so that has been a definite part of the journey too. And been coming back to Chimayó, if I said it correctly.
Yeah, we practiced that.
And I even painted with one of the artists locally. I painted Santos of Our Lady of Guadalupe, and so I'm just listening and following and the best I can, and see what happens, and see if I speak. Somebody has something for me.
This is why I wanted you to talk.
So I hope I haven't taken up too much time.
No, but this is it. See, you have 2 people here that I feel can interpret what's going on. Right here. This is, their spirituality is way up there. I'm sorry.
And to add to that, my grandmother was from the Plains, Ohio, Indiana. She, when I was the youngest grandchild, and my older cousins would say, or my sisters, that she used to say, shh, don't tell anybody that I'm Indian. And so, there's been a journey in that I've a lot of, roadblocks and whatever. But I'm like, being called to New Mexico is just very but I'm saying, okay, say yes. Open your heart, say yes.
All right. Which one do you want to start first? Which
You
one do you want to start
have
first?
anything to say. Miguel just wanted me to share.
Well, that's definitely the medicine of the land is calling to you, and I think it's beautiful that both the Catholic and the indigenous side of the land is calling to you, because that's what we all carry. We all carry, we drink our osha and then we pray our rosary, and that's what my book's about. That's what Northern New Mexico traditional medicine's about. That's what New Mexico's about, and I think that's beautiful. And making amends. Something I also talk about in here, it's important making amends between the two. That we do that now, because in the past our ancestors struggled that battle. So being here now, being called to certain places, certain medicines, certain healing to make amends of the two is so important. So I think that's beautiful that both are showing up in your life.
And if I can respond to that, I think a lot of that is like, how do I weave these two? Because because I've had a relationship with Yeshua since I was a teenager.
Mm-hmm.
So, but how do we weave this together? And this experience, this time coming here, has been that how that is woven together, and it's beautiful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jada?
I'm heard this so many times, and it happened to me too. The mountain literally calls you here. You don't really have a choice.
No, I didn't.
And, and the other part of it is the mountain will spit you out if you do not respect it here. Not you, but I'm saying I've seen people come in here doing drugs and taking advantage of the native cultures and exploiting and then appropriating and practicing. And the mountain will kick you out. No one has to do anything. And so I think it's the spirit of the mountain. And it's literally spirit. Like I see it in your eyes. You have a spirit. And right now it seems like a lot of people are NPCs, non-character players. They're just operating as computers and they're not human anymore. So when we see each other, we're like, yay! Oh my God, you're alive! You're a spirit, you have a soul! Yeah, you're real! I can picture it, she'll scream. No. But also when you were telling me your story, to me, the blue is spirit. I've seen it so many times in the sweat lodge. This electric blue will come out of darkness. And so my suggestion to you is to listen to your heart and get into the sweat lodge, get into the Sundance on the Pueblo, get into the sweat lodge, and like my elder would say, tie everything you know up in your little sack, tie it up, put it on the tree outside, and then go in and learn something new.
Wow.
And you're gonna love it. And so I sit with Marie and Torin on the sweat. If we exchange information, you're welcome to come and I can sponsor you to be there. And then also my elders, Marie Waterflower, she put me up on the mountain 4 years in a row for Vision Quest. So I have a big love for her to sacrifice for me to do that. Because I'm not native, I'm Filipina. But she considers that native.
Yeah, close.
Close enough. But so I'm encouraging you to get in the sweat lodge, to go to a Vision Quest, to go to a Sundance. Put everything you know out of your head, and you're gonna learn something so beautiful, and you're gonna see it. It's literally magic. Go to the San Geronimo. If you come back September 30th for San Geronimo on the Pueblo. They climb up, 50? It's a very tall pole. And literally, he'll stand on top of the pole, face each direction, and pray down to his family. And it will blow your mind. And I just started bawling. Because how is that possible? You see it, and he's doing it.
Yeah.
And that's sacrifice, and that's strength, that's endurance. And that's what our grandparents held for us, so we could sit here today, because we wouldn't be here.
So aren't you glad you came?
So that blue woman, that is a spirit, and she came to visit you, and that blue's really important. And also, when you go to the Rio Grande, that same shape I'm not kidding you, that same shape you described is sitting in the rocks. It's orange, and you'll see one dark shadow of that. It's real. It's here. It lives in this land. So I believe you.
It's beautiful, and thank you. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you.
Yeah, I feel,
Thank you.
I don't usually share this openly, so thank you for sharing.
And to add to that, it actually takes hardship. The digging with what you did with your father, the looking up close. It's not easy. You think it's fun? Like, I want to go to a TP meeting. Oh, you think it's going to be fun? Because you're going to peek your brains out and you better pray harder. I don't know what else to tell you.
I love it. I love
Pray,
your,
pray, pray. Every day.
I love the description.
But so thank you, because that got me all excited, because I saw that too. When I was brought to the mountain too. I saw that same shape.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank
Both
you.
of
Yeah.
No. Anybody else have any questions or comments would like? Sharon?
Well, I just want to say that I was brought here calling as well, not a calling. So everyone in Questa is great, and I've heard your story, and I feel the same way. And actually, I think in 2024, listened to something similar about what you wrote about. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of Gabor Mate, but he's about the body, mind, and soul connection. And so it's just a reiteration of everything that I heard then and why I'm here too. So y'all made me cry.
Same thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I got called here too, and it was through curanderos that I studied with in Oaxaca. It said you've got to connect to your mother and the mother, and that started the whole process.
Started to tell us all.
Yeah. So now my life is completely different, and now I live here.
And hallelujah.
Yes. Yeah, and
you made the change.
I completely blew up my life to be here.
And no one else would do it but you.
Same goal, same.
Yeah.
Good job.
Congratulations.
It's not easy. It's a happy place.
Yeah, it is. It's worth it.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's why for me today was so important. And I in being married to a spiritual healer is number one, incredible person, and then to meet two others that, first of all, both of you are just still babies. You know, you are both of you babies, but you have a profound knowledge that is way past your age. You guys are in the elder version of what your knowledge is. And that's because you guys have taken that ride the proper way. You know, you talk about, working with the elders. You grew up with the elders in a sense, and like here in Cuesta, we had a couple of curanderos. We had your tia, Lisa, got el ojo. The mal ojo, which is the bad eye, and they had to take her to Houston or Dallas to get her get rid of it.
Yes.
Yeah. So and we did have that kind of stuff, and we had a lady here, Felimon Reyes' mother. She would heal your body with cups. She put a heated cup in those on. And then she'd work on it and say, yeah, those. And then like what you have, in watching her there at the farmer's market, that's where I met her. Her enthusiasm is way beyond, like, it's amazing because I would watch her and she's like, definitely Filipina.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's just a Filipino. I don't know what he's talking about.
Yeah, and you talk very quietly, but you use your hand delicately. She had. I think that comes from your training to be a hands-on nurse, because you can't have a heavy hand when you're working with people. You have to have the light touch and the right touch. Yeah, and like when you work with your elders to teach you the Curanderismo, that's a completely different world than what any one of us, unless we have met somebody that knows what it is, we don't even have an idea what it's like to be a curandero. We don't. But that takes a talent that is so God-given. And it really is, because I think about this all the time. How did they know that the willow bark could get rid of the pain? How did they know that this plant you could eat and not die? How did they know, and my favorite is, how did they know to put a worm in the mezcal, and if it floats you can drink it, if it goes down you can't.
There you go.
But those are the kind of things that, people learn, not because they were smart, but because they listened. And this is what you two have been doing all your life, is listening to what's inside of you. You started that with your dad, listening. I may be sure you were listening before, but what I'm saying is you started, all of a sudden your dad was able to communicate with you. And it's so,
that portal.
yeah, that's that portal. It's like, we were talking earlier about cats. And that,
Good medicine.
yeah, and what I read was the group called the Anunnaki, who supposedly started our civilization, were watching the kids, the civilization grow, and that the kids at night especially would look at something and they'd be scared, and everybody would come in, they didn't see nothing. Well, the Anunnaki realized that they were looking at a portal because their brain had no prejudices. So they brought the cats to help, because the cats would protect that portal. And I sent that to my former wife, who's a cat lover. And she says, I love the story, but the internet says it's a hoax. And I said, wait a minute. The Egyptians, why did they revere cats? Why? Is this why? So, and according to what she believes, all cats have one soul. And it makes sense to me in the sense that they can all see the portal. So think about that. It's just little things like that to me that the world is so incredible. It is. It's like, and to meet two young ladies here that their knowledge so past their age. Like,
Well, sort of to go feed off of that, it isn't though, because it's really about what you guys are trying to teach everybody. It's about oral tradition. And the reason we have it is because our grandmas told us it.
yeah.
No, I was my grandma's road dog. We went everywhere together.
Sweet.
I was her favorite, and I can say it because it's true. So it's not us going back. It's us gathering all the knowledge that our great grandmas, great grandpas gave us, and they're like, "This was."
Well, that's what I'm saying.
And they're handing it back to us.
Yeah. No, it's a wonderful thing.
Honestly, when you say that, what's so interesting and so beautiful, I don't know if you know this, my grandparents are from Rancho Yacaus.
Okay.
My grandfather, his name is Bobby Vigil.
Okay.
And he was an hermano. I don't know if you know him. But he was an hermano. And while he was alive, he was the sweetest, purest, kindest soul. And he would sit and he would show me as much as he could about with his alabados and his books and his, prayers and stuff, and as much as he possibly could. And then he got dementia, and towards the end of his life, he kept trying to give me his books, the Morada books, like with all the important information. And no, Grandpa, no, I can't have those. Those are yours. And then I'm not supposed to see this, Grandpa, and I give him back. And I even have it on video. I interviewed him once, and he was like, I want you to have this. And I said, Grandpa, I can't have this. I can't look at it. And I'm not a man. I can't be in the Morada. After he passed, he's been my maestro. Like I said, I was initiated in the Curanderismo. I had a maestra, and then her and I parted ways. And after she left, I said, God, send me a new teacher. I need a teacher. So after that, he sent me my grandfather Bobby, who came to visit me and still visits me to this day. And he gives me stuff. My grandma gives me stuff from the Morada. She says, you keep this secret, but I feel like I should give this to you. I go to the house and give this stuff. Or some random person will give me a painting I recently got a painting of his Morada, of them doing their penance out front, and it was from a photograph from the 1800s.
Wow.
When my great-great-grandfather was a part of that Morada.
Wow.
So one of those men in that painting from that photograph could have been my great-great-grandfather leading in that painting.
Wow.
And so my grandfather, he finds ways to give me things. So while my grandparents were alive, they didn't share too much of this with me. But now that they've passed on, they've taught me more than any maestro or maestra I've ever studied under. And they continue to teach me. And I think that's
what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's beautiful.
To have that third eye, basically what you guys have. Cindy, that my former has that. I've been trying to find mine. With,
Look on the back of your head.
is that what
It went, yeah.
it is? No wonder I'm always knowing where I've been, but not knowing where I'm going. Darn.
I just solved the puzzle for you, right?
I have a question for you both about kind of like your calling towards this work, and it's like a way of life in a way, you know. I don't know how much you would want to share about that, but like if you feel like this is something that you were born into, or if it took time for you to figure it out, or just if you would be interested or willing to share a little bit about that.
Yes. People ask me all the time, like, how did you know that this is what you wanted to do? And I tell them, I feel like I was born, like, knowing this is what I do, not this is what I'm going to do or learn, this is what I do. And I felt like it was more of a remembrance. And as I grew older, I remembered more and I unlocked more. And a lot of the teachings that I learned, especially the more potent ones, remedios and modalities that work the best, actually came to me in dreams. And what I would do is I would take those dreams and run them by a maestro or maestra of medicine or an aunt or an uncle and say, hey, did you ever hear about treating this by doing this or that? Or a maestro or maestra, and they would always, sure enough, confirm that that's exactly what you do to treat this for that. And so these dreams began teaching me, and it was just a remembrance. And like I always just was like, this is what I want to do. Like I went to nursing school because I knew what I wanted to do. I wanted to do this, but I understood that I couldn't do this in today's society without a foundation. So that's why I went to nursing school, and the two have supplemented each other really, really wonderfully. So yeah, that was my experience.
Yeah. And then real quick, I'm sorry because I was listening.
Yeah, it's sort of like how you came to this work. Either,
yeah.
If you feel like it's been a journey to arrive, or if you feel like you were born into it as a role almost.
So my elder would always say, I can't give you this. You have to be born with it. And really what he was saying is, damn it, you're born with it. You got it.
No.
You know what I mean? So I do feel that you're born with it, but I think everyone is.
Yes.
And it's up to them to dig a little deeper. The Black Madonna has 2 scratches on her face. And she's always searching for the truth. Yeah.
She called me to Poland to
searching for the truth.
Because
I love that.
It was the truth. My family, they hid their identity.
Yeah.
I thought I was somebody else, and I'm very Jewish and very Eastern European.
Wow.
And Romani, and this was something that no one in my family knew about until I went to Poland and went to see her. Yeah.
And I think that's what's inside of all of us, this search for the truth, where like the NPCs, they're fine with what's given to them, and they don't want to look. But it's it's like a critical mind. And I just think it's human, is what it is. And then so even when I was younger, like in grade school, I'd massage all my friends. I'm next. And then I'd go see my grandma. She'd literally have a list of people I would massage. And then she'd take me around to like every business to show me off. It was a lot. The bank, the grocery store, the Filipino store, like we were busy. And then I'd go back and I'd have to massage all the people. And so it was with me, but I'm not going to discredit all the elders that gave me a little bit more of the cake, a little bit bigger piece of the crumb. And I agree with what she said. It's this series of memories that come flooding down. And it's heavy sometimes.
Yes, definitely.
And then also that what goes with it and bounces off of what you're saying is our ancestors. After Penelope, I got it. Like their this is the download I got. I'm not saying it's true, but there's stars, and I would watch at night, and I saw one night 150 shooting stars. So we were in communication, right? And so there's these stars. Some are close, and some are so far away. And so the closer ones, those are the newer spirits, our beloved, our past ones. The farther ones are our ancient ancestors. And they're always trying to help us and give us advice and wisdom. And they're always watching, all excited. And so I got to see that and experience that and feel that. And I felt so close to all of them. And they're like, oh, we're going to take care of it. You know, we got this. And she figured out some way to catapult herself spiritually. She didn't even have to come to this dense world. And somehow by doing that, she catapulted me in my spiritual journey. So I can see, I can understand. And I have to say again, smell. There's something with the smell. You can smell sickness. You can smell happiness. You know, metals. Yeah.
Yes.
So I think smell's really important and underlooked, undersmelt.
You're talking about, you know, that everybody has that healing.
Yes.
And Yeshua would say that. You don't need anybody. You have the healing power. Of course, the Catholic Church says, no, you don't. You have to come through us. You know, that's what's so bad about religion. But we all have something as long as we're not afraid to open that eye. And this is, you guys were given not only that third eye already open, but you were taught how to use it the best way. And it's an amazing thing to me. And their third eye is opening, you know, that really hard now. Yours did. And we all have something. Some are more spiritual than others. And thank the Lord that we have spirituality here, Cindy, because I'm just the opposite, literally. I don't remember dreams. It's like nothing. It's just like, I work on a line. And if I have to go this way or that way, my dad always said, pride. If you can't get over or around, don't worry, go under. You can bring pride back up. And it's true. Because I've fallen many times, you know, and I mean, I have fallen like,
look at his knees.
Past my knees. If I go past my knees, I can't even get back up now. But the point is that we all have something inside of us. And we're lucky if we're able to use it. You were given that. I know Pilar has been given that. Glenda has been given that. And so, I'm sorry, I forgot your name. Susan. And I'm sure that Lisa back here has, because she's gone through a lot of stuff lately that has opened her eyes a lot. And Betsy, I know, has it, because way back in the days when you were still doing candles and your life had to do stuff that was crazy, you know, and we all have something. And you guys are lucky that you're able to feel it and work with it. And you two are bringing more to me that, yes, all of you have it. I know damn well that I have it somewhere, but...
No, you have it. You have it. I deal with a whole lot of people who don't have it or don't try to recognize it, and you definitely do have it. You're very, as my nieces and nephews would say, you're very woke. You are. You remind me a lot of my other grandfather, Anastasio. He died at 97 years old, but he was very open-minded and very with it, and he understood a lot, and I see that a lot in you. And you know, going back to what you guys were both explaining, one thing that calls to me a lot is in the Bible they refer to Jesus. They refer to him as the one who they turn their faces from, right? The one from whom they turn their faces from. That it's hard for people to look at his face. Most people can't. I feel that we are all given that gift, that ability to communicate, that openness, that connection, but it only comes from being able to sit and look at the pain, look at challenges, look at lies that we need to find the truth, sit and look at, our feelings, our emotions, our experiences, what our parents did right, what they did wrong, what we did right, what we did wrong. And that's where that comes into mind all the time, the man whom they turn their faces from. Because as human beings, we often want to turn our faces from the hard things. But in the hard things is where the medicine is. That's where the teachings are. That's where the ancestors are. That's where the healing is. So, yeah.
So I have no place to fucking do anything. You ever watch people fucking harassing on money?
You can even have some.
Yeah.
I'll give him some kava later.
But
I have, I'm wondering if, Pilar, you said you had a question, so I'm wondering if you still have it. And I also have one more question about, you've referenced like the sense of smell, and you've also referenced sitting with the medicine as well as like the idea of ingesting. And so I think that the idea of, in Western medicine, it's always about like an action or, an actual like taking something in. And it feels like traditional medicine just kind of blows that top off and looks at all the different aspects of our being, and also, kind of eliminates the time continuum. So I'm wondering if you could just tell us a couple of examples, or share with us how that examples of those things come into your practice in like tangible ways, like with smell, or nothing that would breach any kind of privacy of anybody or anything, but if you that could help us encourage us to opening our minds to more of that, and our listeners. And
well, there's they call them the clairs, the clair cognizance, clair audience, clair, I can't remember what smell is, clair, but there's a medical terminology for heightened senses. Claircognizance is heightened knowing, heightened hearing is clairaudience, and then clairsentience is heightened vision, and then there's one for smell. All the sense, and everyone is gifted these at birth. But society, life, pain, conditioning, lies from that we're told are what silence those things, and they get buried over time. So as we grow as adults, we have to unbury them. Have you ever noticed how children are always noticing, oh, there's a ghost there, or they point at things, or they see things we don't, and so do dogs and cats, because we were all born into this world with that ability, and society and conditioning buries it. So our mission on earth, everybody, just as, and I reference the Catholic Church a lot, even though I'm a little bit of everything, but I grew up Catholic, is, they say everyone's called to be a saint, is what they say in the Catholic Church. The same thing across all religions. Every human being is called to have those gifts and born with them. It's a matter of uncovering them. So through pain and sitting with life, sitting with things, not running from it, that's how we uncover them. I personally, smell isn't a big one for me, but because I've had 3 pregnancies, every pregnancy, that has been my gift. But not so much when I'm not pregnant. But for me, I see and I hear. So I can close my eyes and I can see visions, I can see images, I can see figures and shadows or different scenes playing out, and I can hear messages or deep knowing, the claircognizance of knowing messages from ancestors, from God, or from Mother Mary or my grandmother, depending who it is, or also knowing certain things like I shouldn't leave the house today, or maybe I should take this other road. But it all comes to sitting, just learning the importance of being still. In the Bible they say it so many times, be still. So many religions and faiths believe in being still, because in being still, that's when you can hear. That's when you can see and smell and taste and touch. And that stillness is how we strengthen our gifts. It's just a matter of getting yourself to that. And it's so hard today, in today's world, in our society. We're pushed by the energy of the flesh to move, go, 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 because the spirit is calling us to slow down, to be still. So that's my experience.
Yeah, and basically it's very parallel to what she's saying, is when I got to do my first vision quest, I was like, oh, I want to receive a vision. I want, you know, the star beams to come down, and you know, I was expecting, you know, some big grandeur thing, right? And basically, I went up there, and when you were saying, oh, taking something to feel better or gaining something, it was, I think, the most effective when you take away. You don't get water, you don't get food, you don't get a bed to sleep in, you don't get you don't get your coffee in the morning. Like, so it was more like going through suffering opened my eyes to creation. And so when I sat with, basically, it was sitting with Mother Earth and all of creation and nature, and they literally let me back in. And then, so I was like waiting for this vision, and it was literally the first day. I was just waiting, and I thought I didn't get one. But so the first day when I was little, and this is what she was talking about, when you're little and they say, oh no, you don't see that, and cover it up. I would see orbs everywhere. And I thought there was like something wrong with my eyes. And I asked my parents, and then people are starting to act like I was crazy, so I just zip it up. And so I'd see orbs, big ones, little ones, tiny ones, snake ones, two-headed ones, and they'd come down, they'd like kiss you. And then, so this first day of the vision quest, I hardly even went very long. All these orbs came swirling down. All these ancestors and drank from the water and had blueberries. And I just sat there and wept and wept and wept into the earth. And I didn't know that was a vision. I just thought those are orbs and they're eating. But what creation gave me was, he basically handed me all of my talents, and he said, no, that was for you. And he handed it back to me. And what he gave me was self-confidence. He gave me self-esteem. When I was on my first one, a moose, I guess I was in his spot, came down, boom, boom, boom. And a moose is self-esteem. How they walk is like, get out of my way. You know what I mean? They're so proud. And they don't have to move for anybody. And so that is my teacher now. And then my elder would say, no, that's not your totem. That's your ancestors coming down to visit you. So one of my big ancestors. But I think just sitting with Mother Nature and Earth, like you said, being quiet and listening, like the birds and the bees and all the things that came around, and just being part of it, and it gave me the most excitement, because it literally took only 4 days of no food and water to find your way back to God. So if that happens on a large scale, I was all worried before. Now I'm like, hallelujah! We'll be cured in 4 days. It won't take that long. And they're like, no. I'm like, yes, Star. I want it for you. And it will happen. I've seen it time and time again.
You know, you're talking about being still. When we went to Peru, we went up to Anzungante with a shaman. One of the things they told us to do, go find a spot by yourself. And I climbed up a hill, and there was a little stream running. So I went and sat by. They put 49 rocks around you. And then sit and just meditate. And twice during that meditation, I heard the condors come. And I looked around, there was nothing. And the shaman told me that later. I said, because I was the only one that it happened to. And he says, you have more power than you think. You just got to learn how to use it. And apparently the way I use mine is by helping people through when I got my big heart attack that I came back home, I ended up helping about 8 couples save their marriage by listening. And I guess that's where my power is physical listening. And because I would say something once in a while, I go, where'd that come from?
Yeah.
You know, it's like, and that's basically what life is to listen. And once in a while you get, like you said, sat on. You don't know. but you just got to be able to accept.
Yeah.
And any more questions from anybody? Yes.
Maybe you answered a lot of the questions I had, but if you agree with the sentiment that your practice is decolonizing, like, you know, would you please speak to that?
Definitely. I definitely think it is because, especially my situation, traditional medicine in northern New Mexico came from, it has influences of everywhere, of the Spanish, and not just the Spanish, but the Jewish that came with the Spanish, the Moors, the African influences, yes, the French, and they all had their own practices, their own traditional medicines, their own folk magic. And it came with the Spanish, and then we had our indigenous practices that were here before. And they all mingled, and that's what traditional medicine in northern New Mexico is. And it's been labeled, it's been passed around, it's been forced into other cultures and other things, and it's been titled different things. It's been forced to wear different regalia than what it truly is. So my entire goal at the moment is to decolonize traditional medicine in northern New Mexico. A lot of sometimes there's been a big mixture of trying to force it into like the Mexica beliefs, Mexica tradition, and Curanderismo, which is a little bit different. It's its own thing. And then traditional medicine in northern New Mexico is a little bit different as well. It's its own thing. Just as Chinese medicine is its own thing and shamanic practices are their own thing. So my goal is to truly remove labels and get traditional medicine in northern New Mexico back to its original form, which is you do what you can with what you have on hand. You do it out of survival, out of necessity, not so much rules, structure, labels, and more so fluidity based off of sitting with the medicine and working with what you have. Yeah, I love that question.
Yeah, I feel this is a hard one for me. So I was raised atheist and really hardcore liberal Californian and no talk of God. And even when I was 5, I would, well, maybe God will send our whole family down together and we'll always be in the same family. And they would laugh at me. And so I would just sit in the garden and sit with the plants. And I was fine out there. But so this one is a hard one because I don't feel like I was really like colonized in such a sense as like what your family has to go through. But in the Philippines, it's 98% Catholic. So it's so cool to go over there and see how they practice. I literally can't say anything because these are such good people and how they are with themselves and with the land and with God. They surpass, and I just have to respect. And so that's what I've found in my journey is any divinity, anyone who prays to a God. I'm so happy and glad to meet you. It's the ones that don't have a God that scare me, and I'll run the other way. I think it's beautiful, and I'm open to all walks of life. And I think if we support each other in that, it'll just grow and grow. And we all know it's really just about love. And it just grows and grows, and it's contagious. Yeah. So,
It's like,
yeah. You better not touch it.
Yeah.
Sharon,
We
you
do that
got a
little
question?
kid clap.
Yeah.
Everyone's great.
Well, ladies, unless you have anything else want to share, I want to say thank you.
Thank you guys
Thank you
for
so
listening.
From the bottom of my heart. This was, I think this is, other than the mothers, all the mothers, this is really like that because it's so heartfelt. I mean, everybody we've had has been really great, but there's some that just hit a little bit deeper. And thank you.
Thank you for inviting us.
Yeah, and I would like a book, and I need some more of your stuff and all of your stuff.
We'll suck you up.
Hey, it's nice not to have to take pills.
There you go, yeah.
Wonderful.
I have to take my aspirin, my 81 aspirin every day.
That
Because of
is
a heart
what I've
attack.
seen on the Pueblo, is a lot of them refuse to take the medications. And it is so cool to see an elder look at you, talk to you, and speak to you clearly, remember things. And I honor those women because my parents, they'll take any drug handed to them. And I can't even communicate with them anymore. But these women are with it and their belief system. So when I come and do the fire cups, or I don't have to explain anything. That, oh, my grandpa did this for me. And they get nostalgia. And they're open to it. It's a belief system. So if they believe it and it's true, it happens. So it's hard when I have to convince somebody that this fire is going to pull out old dead toxin out of your blood and create circulation and reset your microfascia. They're like, but even if they don't know and if they don't like it, they just love it. So yeah, so thank you for inviting us.
Thank you.
And listening to us little ones.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you both so much. Thanks.
You have listened to the stories. Vayan y digan a todos que vengan a escuchar las historias de nuestro país.
Perfect.